Today there is a lot of news from the Velika Novosilka direction. Here, after a short regrouping, Ukrainians ramped up the intensity of their attacks in order to leverage newly captured positions and generate new gains. One of the main axes of advance became the hills west of the river. If we look at the topographic map, we can see that Ukrainians gained a foothold right above the settlements, and as I told you last time, even if Russian claims were true and they indeed recaptured the settlements, they would not stay there for long due to the overwhelming fire from the hills. And this is exactly what happened. Today Russian sources confirmed that they decided to retreat from Neskany to more reliable positions. Ukrainian sources also posted drone footage that confirms that Russians abandoned their positions around Storaziv as well. Some non-mainstream Russian sources claim that the front line collapsed under the pressure of the second wave of Ukrainian attacks all the way to Makarivka. But this is just the beginning because Ukrainians also launched a massive attack from Zolota Niva. Russian sources reported that, at first, Ukrainians launched a small attack on Novodonetsk to fix Russians' forces and protect the flanks while almost immediately launching a powerful attack towards Uruzhain. Even the most prominent Russian sources confirmed that Ukrainians very quickly cleared the tree lines, and the fighting is taking place right in front of the settlement. As you can quickly notice, this attack completely cut off Russian forces in Blahodatin, and Russian sources confirmed that Russian forces retreated to avoid being taken into a pocket, which means that Ukrainians secured Blahodatin without a single shot being fired. There are also at least 3 more lines of attack along the western section of the front line, namely toward Rivnopil, Novodorivka, and Levadin. The freshest reports indicate that Ukrainians secured new tree lines in front of the settlements. However, the assault units are reportedly small, so for now, these are just supporting attacks. Overall, in 1 week of storming operations around Velika Novosilka, Ukrainians managed to liberate around 95 square kilometers of the ground. When it comes to the Kherson region, in the aftermath of the destruction of the Kakhovska hydroelectric power plant dam, 600 square kilometers of the ground appeared underwater. This means that the topography of the region has completely changed. 90% of Olshly and Olapristan, which are the main Russian strongholds where they were hiding most of their equipment, were submerged under the water. The flooding has also destroyed many Russian first-line field fortifications that the Russian military intended to use to defend against Ukrainian attacks. Rapid flooding has forced Russian personnel to evacuate as fast as possible. Recently released footage shows how Russians are using boats from the local tourist center. Unfortunately for Russians, there were only blue and yellow boats left. Recent footage also shows that Russians had to use their transport helicopters to evacuate from the Kinban Spit because the flooding had reportedly cut off the main supply roads. Ukrainian Southern Operational Command spokesperson Natalia Humanyuk stated that in some places, Russian forces had to roll back by up to 15 kilometers. Local residents also showed what happened above the dam. As the reservoir has been gradually emptied, the river width has shrunk by multiple kilometers. In fact, if we look at the satellite footage, we can see that vast areas have turned into land. If we increase the contrast of the image, we can also see how narrow is main river path. This means that if the water levels continue to recede, Ukrainians will be able to establish a pontoon bridge and conduct a mechanized assault on a completely naked and unfortified part of the front line.